Hello and welcome back to Stephanie's Movie Reviews. I am your host, Stephanie Thompson. I'm a member of the Screen Actors Guild in AFTRA, a classically trained singer-songwriter, a vocal coach, and an actor. In this show, we review 4 categories of films: action, family, drama, and comedy. In this particular segment, this is the 3rd segment of 4 segments, we are reviewing a drama. And I'm so pleased to have back on this segment my dear friend, Adnan Khawaja.
Hello, Stephanie.
Welcome back.
I know, same here. I'm glad to be back.
Nice to have you.
Absolutely.
And he is one of our sponsors, SkyVistaConsulting.com. And he does a wonderful job with social media, so... Well, I don't want to tell you he's too awesome because I don't want you to steal him. So he's okay.
Darn.
No, he does a great job. He does a great job. So we love having him. And now we've got him watching movies. So fantastic. And also, I just want to say Happy New Year to you. And let's make it a great 2017. And let's jump to the movie. So in this segment, we're reviewing Manchester by the Sea. And it is a drama. It was released November 18th, 2016. And it's written and directed by Kenneth Lonergan. It stars Casey Affleck, Michelle Williams, Kyle Chandler, Lucas Hedges, Gretchen Mol, C.J. Wilson, and a small part, Matthew Broderick. It's rated R for language throughout and some sexual content. It runs 2 hours and 17 minutes. And... the synopsis is that Lee Chandler is his older brother dies unexpectedly, and he is shocked to find out that he is made sole guardian of his brother's 15-year-old son, and he reluctantly returns to Manchester by the Sea. And he has to kind of face some old ghosts, some old demons. His ex-wife is there, and some other things that have happened in the past. And he reconnects with the son and his nephew and everything like that. And then some other things happen, and it kind of evolves from that. And interestingly enough, Casey Affleck won Best Actor Golden Globe last night for his part.
He did.
And I have to say, he fully deserved it because
Absolutely.
He was phenomenal in that role.
Phenomenal. And I'm a fan of the Affleck brothers just in general, along with Matt Damon. And he was one of the executive producers as well of the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, from the amount of emotions and you really connected with the characters the moment you start watching him, and I think Casey Affleck definitely hands down deserved the nomination and the award for that. The one word that I think describes it for me just is haunting. I felt haunted by that movie. Yes, especially with some of the things that he went through, and you're right about the demons.
Oh my gosh!
I think that was pretty heartfelt, especially for those who have children and whatnot. And not to give the whole movie away,
right?
There's a lot of emotional attachments that just when the moment it reels you in right through and through, and it's nice how they sort of started off the movie with, that connection of brotherhood and the nephew with the uncles.
Yes.
And then you sort of progress into the the plot of hey, what's going on, what happened to his whole lifestyle, and why is he in another city, that kind of thing. So a lot of I felt especially with one of the scenes with his ex-wife and how they were trying to connect, especially after everything that he had gone through, both had gone through.
Yes.
Sort of created that, and there was a moment in that movie where I was like, man, this is really heartfelt. And so
yes,
the emotions that run throughout the movie were just intense, and minus the language obviously, but you have to kind of put in perspective that they're in Massachusetts. It's that whole Boston East Coast mentality, so you have that camaraderie or brotherhood or fraternity, so to speak, that happens within that era, that little environment. So it was interesting from the perspective of his nephew as well, which was his emotions versus his uncle's emotion were two contrasts between the characters.
It was interwoven so seamlessly, and you know, like you said, the flashbacks where, because in the beginning I was like, okay, what's happening? And then when you saw that opening scene and you were like, okay, that, and then you realize, oh, okay, these are his memories, and these are what happened before, and I felt like this was a real person. Like if you go to Manchester or you go to Boston, he would be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
And I felt so badly for the guy. I just felt so badly for him. Like, you know, when he says at one point, again, no spoilers or anything, but when he has that interaction with his ex-wife and he's like, I've got nothing.
No,
and you're like, oh.
Well, not only that, I felt like, you know, he had throughout the movie, that's not a true spoiler, but throughout the movie, you see him like a cold character.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, he just breaks down, and I think that just shows like he's human, and he has to have that connection. But then he, you know, again, the event was so tragic that I couldn't even imagine how anybody else would deal with it. And they show how he tries to deal with, but at the end, I think that one scene alone, I think, sort of epitomizes the whole movie, and it shows, you know, humanity behind what could happen to you in an instant. And I felt, you know, really connected with that just one scene. But, you know, obviously throughout the movie there are things that, you know, hey, what happens when a loved one passes away and you are responsible for them, and how do you go from one step to the other? And you know, I don't have kids of my own, but you know, nieces and nephew alone, that connection itself.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, children, of course, nieces and nephews, like you said, and you know, any child close to you, you can imagine. I mean, I'm close to my dog. Yeah, I can't imagine. You know. I mean, I know how I feel about my dog. I can't imagine someone that I created. You know, just like I felt like he. Because, you know, I'm watching this, and then I was watching as the movie progressed and everything, and I'm realizing he's punishing himself. He is literally punishing himself.
He did.
For what he did.
Exactly. And again, I think it's, you know, people make mistakes in life, and you know, directly or indirectly affecting them, or you know, and that alone is like, okay, it happened, and all of a sudden you're like, what do I do? What do I do? And that was his point of like shutting down emotionally, physically, from all angles. And you know, it was good to see that, you know, brotherhood come together while his brother was alive. You know, especially those scenes where he's trying to help him, but then at the same token, it's like, okay, he's completely shut down.
Yes.
But it was, you know, not to make it too much of a depressing movie, there are a lot of good humor behind that.
Yeah, there is some humor in it. And Lucas Hedges playing the nephew. He's
hilarious character.
that kid is.
He is.
I was like, oh my gosh, teenagers. You know, do I remember what it's like to be a teenager? I don't know, but. He was a little pistol.
He was a little pistol, and I was gonna say too, is like, I think it would have been cool to have a nephew like that if I, you know, as I go older. And I have a nephew, you know, a couple of nephews myself, and one of the nephews I could see how he could be sort of a pistol when he grows older, and I can't, you know, wait to see that happen.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So the acting in it was tremendous. It was really good, and. You know, I can't say I liked the movie because I found it to be very dark, but I thought it was very, very well done. And I gave this movie 4 popcorns. And I thought it was very rich in a lot of ways, emotionally. So definitely see it, but definitely you might want some Kleenex because it's a heart wrencher.
Definitely
anyway, Adnan, thank you so much for coming and being my guest again. Appreciate you so much.
Look forward to the next one.
Yes. Okay, we'll have you back. And on the next segment, we're going to talk about comedy, why him, and we'll be right back.